But yeah, so I do actually want to ask other stuff since Sal is a DC fan. What did you think of this week's trailer?
Oh, it was awesome. One thing that I noticed was freaking Batman's a freaking hater.
Yeah.
He is a hater. Like I'm like, oh, and he's a little racist. Like, oh, it's okay for you to do what you do, but Lord forbid somebody else who has powers affects any actual change, oh, like saving the world, while you're sitting around here trying to save your piece of trash city that never seems to actually, you know, uh, work towards any daggone thing that's
Positive.
viable. Like,
Yeah.
like all how everybody's afraid of Batman and does so much, fears Batman so much, yet Gotham is still like one of the worst crime-ridden cities with some of the worst criminals in the country. It doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah.
Did you two hear about the Batman game that's being made by Telltale? It was
Mm,
an it was announced last night, so it's gonna be an episodic Batman game.
Oh, okay,
I
cool.
don't know if that's gonna work. It's gonna have a tough stance to try to stand
Oh
up
yeah,
to
Arkham.
Arkham. So that's if you're not if it's not going to be innovative and just as good as that, then you're going to
I,
have
I I
stuff.
think it might be focused more on like the detective side
Yeah,
rather
Well,
than
'cause
on
Batman's
that
a
was
Bat.
one of the
detective
better
first.
parts of Gotham actually was the detective stuff that you had to do with the vision and everything like that. You had to follow the trail and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I
'cause
mean, if
that's where that's where DC comes from, Detective Comics. That's what.
yeah,
Yeah.
so if they can pull it off, they might do good. But yeah, that's the first I've heard of that. One of the other things that I was really liking about the trailer is I was apprehensive at first when they told me, when they said that Gal Gadot was going to be playing Wonder Woman, but she looks awesome in it. She just really, really just portrays
I'm
Wonder Woman as far as I can see from that trailer. So I'm
Yeah,
I'm
I sort of
excited.
didn't like that tongue-in-cheek moment. The stupid comedy moment was
It's
like,
like, is she
"Let's
with
see with
you?
you, don't you with you."
Like, no, this is Wonder Woman, bitches.
Yeah, I know. I wish though. I wish they hadn't have shown like. I mean, Doomsday, awesome, cool, great, whatever. Because people are still going to see it even if it didn't have Doomsday in it. I wish they hadn't have revealed that he
That
was
seems
going.
kind of early for somebody like him.
Yeah, I thought
And
that's kind of like a second, third movie sort of thing, because that's the
so
guy that killed
45
Superman.
apparently has an issue with Jesse Eisenberg playing Lex Luthor, and as a lot of people kind of did.
Is he not
For
playing
the for
Lex
the
Luthor
record,
Jr.?
I think Jesse Eisenberg is an awesome actor. I don't think I've seen anything that he's been in that I didn't like. And I can understand people's issue is, he doesn't seem like, Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is this imposing guy. He's like 6'2" or something like that. He's this imposing guy,
Mm.
and he's, very, domineering and stuff like that. And, he's the intelligent, megalomaniac type of guy. Um, but not every character in movies has actually portrayed him as the. I mean, when what was it, back when Christopher Reeves was of Superman, they had Gene Hackman playing
Mhm.
him.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, Gene Hackman doesn't resemble anything what I would think of, Lex Luthor. So I mean, the way I look at it is from what I can see of what they're doing with the trailer, he is a different version of Lex Luthor, not
I think they're supposed
the
to. I heard he's supposed to be Lex Luthor Jr. That's what I
or
heard.
some. Well, he's supposed to be a different version of Lex Luthor, not the one that we constantly get because that Lex Luthor has been played before,
Mhm.
and I don't think he's. I mean, even when Kevin Spacey did it, who's also another amazing actor,
Yeah, I
but
liked him doing it.
I don't think that anybody who's actually actively played Lex Luthor throughout the live action stuff. I don't you know I don't know. Besides, what's his name who did it when in Smallville? As far as the big screen is concerned, I don't think anybody really stands out. It's like, oh yeah, Lex
Still,
Luthor.
that's loud.
So
Sorry,
I guess
oh,
I guess they
kidding.
figure I guess they figure they better go in a different direction to make him more uh
Cunning.
yeah, make him more or less typical of what you would expect of Lex Luthor, because in reality Lex Luthor is not really so much of a standout character. He's like he's essentially, becomes the bad guy and is kind of like a more insane version of Iron Man, I guess, in a way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's very but he's very xenophobic in the way that he doesn't. He's
yeah,
always about
he's
humanity.
extremely
He doesn't
xenophobic.
trust Superman because he's an alien.
Doesn't trust Superman because he's an alien, but Superman's never done anything to justify it. So, Lex always comes off looking like a freaking, an insane person who's just freaking jealous. And I
Mhm.
think that's what you kind of have to deal with a little bit during this movie, is that Batman, giving his his nature, where he's very, questionable about people and their motivations, just because he's overly cautious and stuff like that. He does not really know the reality of what Superman is. He's only looking at the guy from the outside in, and much like in the comic books and with the animated stuff like that, as he gets to know him, they become like best friends,
Mhm.
because he knows that Superman, regardless of his powers and his genetics or whatever, Superman is everything that he appears to be. He's not
Yeah.
playing a role. He was born and he was raised in Dagon, Kansas. He's a freaking
Mhm.
country boy and stuff like that, who's pretty much out of place with other Kryptonians that are from Krypton, because he was never effectively one of them. I mean, he knows of their culture and stuff like that and has all that information, but he's
He's a human. He's essentially
he's
human. He was.
yeah, he's ingrained in that mentality and not in the mentality that basically allowed the fall of Krypton in the first damn place. So, Superman, this is kind of showing you that Batman and Superman are kind of at odds, because Batman, in his typical way, just doesn't trust anybody, and then he has to come to understand that, yeah, this is a good guy. He's probably more in, and that's the whole thing. Superman is together. He's, mentally, emotionally, sound. Batman is the one who's fucked up emotionally.
Yeah, he's the one that's traumatized from
Yeah,
his past.
Batman has always been the pinnacle of human capability. He's, the smartest man in the world. He's the master detective. He's, the pinnacle of human capability, as far as strength and physical technique and intelligence. The one downside he has is he's not only emotionally unavailable, that's why he has so many girlfriends and stuff like that, but he's just emotionally fucked up. He watched his parents get murdered in front of his face. He never went to go see a psychologist. And he stalks around the city in a bat costume at night, daggone, pretty much crippling random people and stuff like that, because they're stealing from a store or something. Like, if anybody needs some help, it's probably Batman. So, but his intentions are courageous, because he's still the badass we all know and love. So
Yeah.
there's that. But yeah, he's not. There's. I don't think anybody can question whether or not Batman's mentally sound.
Yeah, no, he's definitely Batman is traumatized.
Not
So
mentally sound,
there's no
but
argument
mentally
there.
sound.
He's traumatized of them all. But I love actually. Do you ever see? Because I love the because in terms of do you ever see the Mortal Kombat? Well, what do you call it? The Neverwell game, Injustice. Thought that was amazing. I love the ending of it, like, because whenever you do play a game like that, whenever you have to save the world, you always have to take Superman out of the picture because he's just so kind of like he's basically now obviously I don't mean the Joker in terms of the character, but in terms of deck of card, he's the Joker. You know, he's the card up the sleeve. He's just always there, and obviously the bad guy in it is Superman in that version. And I just love it at the end whenever Batman and Superman are walking away, and it's like, you know what freaks me out? And Batman's like, what? It's like, I bet you have a plan in case that happens to me. And he's like, yep. He's like,
Mhm.
yeah, thought so. It's like, yep, just don't get on my bad side. And I love that. I love that kind of banter between the two of them. They're very good. Like they're two very different people, but they they kind of represent opposites of like, cause Bruce Wayne's always like he's always teetering on the edge of the darkness of humanity, whereas Batman, where Superman's always like on the brightness of humanity because he's experienced all the goodness that humanity can give you, and he's given back to it and stuff. And but he could,
Yep.
if he went dark, it would always be more dangerous and stuff. So I liked it. It did get me excited, but I just wish they hadn't revealed Doomsday, and I do wish the Doomsday was not in it this early. If it's going to be a
Yeah.
trilogy, Doomsday's a he's a major player, in terms of he killed Superman, well, killed Recon Superman, whatever. But he's known as the guy who killed
Well, this
Superman.
is all like building up because, eventually after this and stuff like that, they're gonna parlay into the Justice League movies. Um, but also on the front of DC, having watched this week's Flash, I
Oh, I love
really,
it. Sorry.
really did not like how they just made Vandal Savage seem so unbeatable. Like the guy's immortal and he's got some enhanced, capabilities, but other than that, he's not that serious. Like, I mean, he's a genius, so he can plot and plan and stuff like that, and you can get caught in a trap or something like that. But I mean, the way that they portrayed him in the show was just kind of like ridiculous. Like, really,
Yeah, because he's
fastest
gonna be
man on
he's
the
gonna
planet.
be in he's gonna be the main bad guy in Legends.
Yeah,
So yeah.
but it's like the fastest man around can't they're gonna take on this daggone guy. And like what really got me is like multiple times in this daggone thing he threw knives and it seemed like daggone Barry was just running real slow. Like, oh, I can't catch this knife in midair. Like, come on, really? How
Yeah,
fucking
you're
slow
catching
are you
bullets
running?
for fuck's sake.
Yeah, how slow are you running? Like, what the hell is happening right now? I was like, oh, this is the exact time when my friends are life is in danger. They're gonna run super slow. Because when they slowed it down and showed you him catching the thing, it just seemed like, okay, you probably could move a little bit faster. Because I know the guy didn't throw him that fast. He doesn't have super speed like you. So why is it such a problem for you to catch this daggone thing when you should be able to? You're so fast you can run through time, yet you can't catch these daggone freaking blades flying through the air at regular speed. And
Yeah.
then when the one was coming towards Cisco, it was just like he was just like running to get it. Like, oh my god! I'm like, really? Is this happening right now? I don't understand why this is such a tense situation. The one thing he should be capable of doing, because we all know he's not capable of defeating Zoom. So the one thing he should be capable of doing is catching that damn blade. Because if not, he might as well just pack up his shit and go and leave the town. Like, was just so weird. And then it just also showed you how ineffective daggone using a bow and arrow is. It really just takes me back to that shit that Batman says to Red Arrow in Earth 2 when they're being attacked and you know he's like and him and Batman get into it and he's like Red Arrow's like, oh well, what's the plan? He's like, you're not any part of my plan. He's like, oh, what do you mean? Stuff like that. He said, you're just gonna do this. He said, you know what? He said, if he said he said, what's your skill set? Oh, that's right, archery. Yeah, that would be that would be useful if this was like 400 years ago and I was storming a castle. He said, but in today's day and age where you're actually fighting somebody who is an actual danger, you're totally useless. And it just kind of reiterated how useless Green Arrow and everybody is in the situations where they're not fighting regular people. So it's
Yeah.
just like, okay, you can shoot arrows, nothing's happening. So
Yeah, it's like also, can I comment on Flash and Arrow this week? Like, see, whenever I started watching Arrow, I absolutely loved Felicity. I thought she was so cool, so awesome, la la la. And then this week, like, I really have not liked her since she has been bucking Oliver. Really hated it.
oh,
Hated it. I just don't like her since this. And literally this week,
a
she,
better
like,
person.
Oliver has literally just found out, like, she knows he has just found out that, that he is a father. Now, before obviously the time reversed, but he's just found this out, and she's like, "Oh, you didn't tell me." And it's like, it happened an hour ago. Fuck off.
Well, no, the thing is, the thing she was mad about was not that he had a kid. She didn't care about that. It's the fact that he lied to her
But he
about it.
didn't. He
No, no, he lied to her about it when he had the opportunity to tell her because she asked him and he said, oh, I had him search for such and such. Right then and there, that's when he lied. He could have just admitted to her what had happened and stuff like that,
Yeah,
but
but
he
it
lied and she knew that he had lied.
yeah,
That was
I get the lying part, but like there has to be like a certain amount of empathy in the situation that he has just literally 2 seconds beforehand found out he's a father. I mean, it's not just, oh here, I have a kid. Yeah, have you? Oh yeah, no sweat. Right. It's the thing is that he's just
yeah, but
found
that's
out.
like
Like, can she
if
just go give him a chance
you
to get it to
that
let it settle?
but that's the thing though. Like she knew that what was going on. The thing about it is that he didn't even give an opportunity for him. He didn't create the opportunity that they're going to actually tell her. It'd been one thing if she asked him, what's going on, and he says, "I'll tell you later," or "This now's not the time to discuss
No, what
this.
he said
I'll
was,
tell
once
you
I get
later."
my head around it and figure out for sure, I'll tell you. We'll talk about
Yeah,
it.
that was initially. But when she caught him at the house and she asked him, what's going on or whatever, she said Barry said such such such, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm looking, and he lied to her about what he had given
Yeah,
Barry.
okay, I get that he
That's the
lied,
part that got
but
it. That's
it's
the
an
part that got
understandable lie though. It's an understandable because he's just getting his head around it literally an hour into this. He's just figured out, shit, I have a kid. That's not something that you just go,
it. And the
yeah,
thing
I have a
about
kid. Yeah, let's have a wee, let's
it's
go for
still
meet him and
gonna
you know.
it's still gonna end up blowing up in his face because they reset the thing so that conversation didn't happen, but he blew it off as, oh, it was something I had to deal with, but it's nothing now.
Okay,
And come
but
on,
but
this
but
is
but
Felicity, right? We're talking about. She's not stupid, and she's not gonna just sit there and be like, okay, yeah, I'm not
yeah,
gonna.
but
She's gonna find out, and it's gonna end up happening again, and he's gonna
yeah,
end up.
but this is his kid who literally he's just found out. He's went to the house and his mother has said, I don't want you telling anyone for
First of
now.
all, I don't think that right there didn't make any sense to me. She doesn't have any authority to daggone determine exactly the parameters in which he sees the kid that she lied to him about and didn't tell him about, regardless of what his past was. And then she even admitting to knowing that that's not who he is or whatever. But oh, his life is still so hectic, yada yada. Regardless of him being Arrow, that's like secondary because nobody knows that he's Arrow
Yeah, I
besides
know, but
people.
it's not
But
just
the
his
fact of the
thing.
matter
It's not
is
just
that
his son though. It's her son too,
it
and she's made that
yeah,
decision.
but
And
it's see the thing is here you can't make that determination because everybody always acts like, oh, it's all about the daggone mothers. Fathers have rights too,
of
and the
course,
fact of the matter is he's daggone somebody who's prominent with money. If he wanted to, he could daggone make her life a living hell and just daggone take the child. But that's not what he's doing. He's
of
trying to
course,
daggone be acceptable with her, which is funny because considering what she did, I would have been really pissed. But he was
yeah.
really nice about it. So the fact of the matter is that she shouldn't be. She. I don't think she has a right to make a determination on what the
No, I don't. I don't
level
think she
that
has that
he
right,
sees his
but she is
child or
also
whatever, based on the fact that yeah, she might be protecting his child, but you don't really know that because the fact of the matter is when you have that type of situation, the child is going to grow up being pissed that his mother knew about this shit all along and did nothing about it and pretty much kept his father away from him.
yeah. No,
That
I get
that
that, but it's a complete sticky situation. It's not just oh here, I have a kid, let's go and have play happy families. Like there's a lot of people involved that they need to get their head around it and stuff. Anyway, you know what I mean? So it just for me it was just a nail in the coffin for Felicity. It's been a gradual process, and even my friends and work are just like, yeah, I hate her. I hate her now. I mean, it's like, yeah, I can't stand her. Cause like it was just like unnecessary conflict. Really, it was like, oh yeah, let's just like, so that Oliver doesn't have his head in the game. She's gonna get angry at him, and because Felicity is an understanding person, that's the thing. And yet it's when, oh no, she's not understanding. She's just going to get mad at him right away off the bat before, because you give him a chance, like he's getting his head around it. It's not just, oh
but do you see that's the thing though? I don't think it was an issue about him getting his head around it based on the fact that he had no intention of telling her.
yeah, but
He
no,
was
but
just
wait,
going to lie his way through it in the hope that she was never going to find out.
I don't think he
That's
was
what it
going to
was. That's
hope
the
she
actual
never find out.
backdrop of what happened the second time when that thing reversed and stuff like that. He has no intention of telling her.
But it's still like, I mean, okay, a week, whatever, a couple of days down the line, fine. If she got mad then, fine. But an hour after he's found out, that's a fucking well piss take. It's no, you just don't just dump on someone. That's like saying, say you just watch your child die and you can't talk about it. It's like
This
you're
is
never
not
gonna
something
trust
where,
me about this.
but you
Ah.
got to remember they're not. They're not typical. Regular people. They've got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, but
So
they're in a
keeping
6 month
secrets
relationship.
keeping secrets can end up daggone getting somebody killed or somebody hurt or whatever have you. And in this particular instance, she asked him what was going on, and his head was going to be in the wrong daggone space regardless
Yeah, it's
of
gonna
what
be
she
because
said.
the situation he's in is it's a melter of a situation.
His problem was sitting there daggone, trying to handle that situation while in the middle of all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Now, the fact of the matter is that, he had an opportunity. She gave him more than one actual opportunity to actually say something to her about it, and he chose not to. Now, you want to get his head around it, whatever, that's one thing, but he didn't even give her a heads up that there was something going on and that he needs some time to figure it out and so forth and so on. He just blatantly lied to
No,
her.
but he did say whenever she went, "What's going on with you?" At originally, he did say, "Look, there's something going on, and I will talk to you about it once I'm sure about it." And I'm sorry, but
From
fine.
what happens
If it
in
had been like next
that
episode, 2 episodes later, and he still wasn't telling her, yes, okay, she's right to be pissed off. But when it's an hour
But
after
the
he's
thing
just
is,
found out,
she
it's
had
just
already that the you're absolutely right. But what the mess up was, she had already found out
yeah.
from she went up in a thing. So when
Which he
he
should not have done. By
opportunity,
the way, that's fucking freaky as well. You should not be. But that's like checking your boyfriend's text messages. That's not.
but the thing is, he didn't. First of all, they work together. Nothing is daggone. Nothing is hidden from each other as far as what you call. So she assumed that he was doing work related stuff.
No, but
And
she knew he wasn't because it was like, tell me, no, tell me. It was like really freaky,
no,
fucking clingy bastard and shit.
initially, before she knew what was going on, she was trying to figure out and she just happened to come in there, and then that whole situation went down, and then of course Barry got dragged into it because he lied to Barry.
Mhm.
So when she picked it up, and then that's when she knew. So when he came to her and she asked him, what's going on and stuff like that, that was the relationship mess up moment because she had already known and had given him the opportunity to say something, anything, even if he didn't directly tell her what was going on, to let him figure it out and stuff, or whatever. Even
Yeah.
say, I think I might have a kid or something like that. Not even getting specifics about it. And instead of doing that, he just blatantly lied to her, and that was the mess up because she already knew.
Yeah. No.
That's like
That they know
somebody telling
he
you
did mess up
something.
by Lander, yes,
That's like
but she completely
somebody
messed
telling
up.
you. I mean, come on, think about it. If you're in a relationship with somebody and they lied to you about something that you already knew the answer to, you would be pissed because
Right. For a start, I would not go and fucking if it's clearly something that he's trying to figure out on his own
but
for
she didn't
a
know what it
day.
was.
No, no,
She
I
was
know,
trying
I
to
get
figure
that, I get that, but he
and
said
she didn't intentionally come to Barry to daggone find out
no,
what
no,
he was
no,
doing.
no, 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 no. When she found out, she was like, tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me, and tell me. She made Barry show her. She made it. She was really like
No,
a
she
clingy
said, "What
little
did you
crazy
just put in
bastard.
what are you picking in your pocket with
Yeah,
secret things?" He
but
was
that was
like,
clearly something that he basically said it's clearly something that was nothing to do with Barry, and he didn't want to basically talk about it, and she made him. It is a quintessentially as if she picked up his phone to find out what he was doing. It is not. It's she was
"Well, you
wrong in the
yeah, this
first
is
place for doing
soliciting
that as well.
smoke. If she wants to find out something, she's going to."
I get that, but that is like the two of them fucked up completely in the whole situation. But it's a sticky situation anyway, and there was just no understanding there. She just flipped out and stuff, so it was just yeah. But
Well,
yeah,
she had her daggone reasons, like she said. She's not mad that he has a kid. That really doesn't
right.
concern her. What she's mad is the fact that he lied about it.
No, I get that. There's no she's no right to be mad as a kid anyway. She's no right for that. It's something that happened.
You'd be surprised.
No, 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 no. I'm so sorry, but I fucking hate this in women. Like, see, like I know this girl who basically, well, one of my best mates. He moved to South Africa recent. He moved to South Africa last year, and he was in a relationship here with a girl, and with a woman, and she refused to move. Like, he got offered this fantastic opportunity, and he wanted her and his kid to move over there with him, and like, I mean, it's an amazing paid job, but because she got pissed off with him for going back to South Africa to see his mum in Zimbabwe, she was like, oh, how dare you? He hadn't seen his mum in 4 years. And she was like, and she stopped talking to him for weeks. And then he was trying to coax her around. She's like, no, you're just a dickhead anyway, and refused to go. So he went out there and has made a life for himself. He comes back to visit his child. He brings his child every night, and he's in a relationship now, and the girl has got pregnant for whatever reason. But the girl he was with knew he was in a relationship, like knew he had moved on from her, and now because he's now having a child with her, she is freaking the fuck out. And it's like, fuck off. You have no right. You gave up that right when you dumped him. You cannot freak out over this. It's like, ugh, I don't get it. Women do this all the time. My friend, she's just recently got married. Whenever she started dating her boyfriend, her husband now, but whenever she started dating him, he had a child with another woman who was married to someone else. They were married now, and she had moved on, and he had moved on, and they had a daughter. And he visited his daughter all the time and was able, like, nothing wrong. But as soon as he started having kids, like she was having her own kids, but as soon as he had a son with my friend, she fucking kicked off in a big friggin' bloody manner, like, oh, how dare you. I don't get this. Women just go so mental, and I know I'm just realizing I don't get it. It's this whole thing, he's my baby daddy, he should be this and not, but I'm allowed to move on, but he's not. I don't get this. Sometimes it happens and it goes crazy and it's mental. But yeah, sorry. It's just, I don't think she has any right to be mad. It's something that happened in his past before he ever met her. Like, he's known her, what, 4 years? The child is 9. He's had that child happened more than double the amount of time ago. You know what I mean? It's so stupid. She can't, like, I mean, he made a mistake when he was younger. He didn't even know, so you can't really be mad at her for having a kid. She's no right for that. And yet she's getting all like, oh, well, I'm not mad at you for having a child. Like it's something really fucking glory be to God, oh, look at me, look what I've done. I'm not mad at you for having a child, It's no, I just don't. No. There was just no there was no empathy in the situation at all. It was just, you don't trust me, and you're never gonna trust me, and it's like, fuck up. You don't know what's gonna happen in a week. You don't. Just give him a chance. You know what is going through his head right now. The fact that she knew what was going through his head, that he's just found out he's a father, and yet she's just basically not give a shit about the situation. You know what I mean? Because like he has to think about that as well. He's running for mayor. If it comes out that he has a child there, that child can be a target, and whatever. It's very difficult. It's a very difficult situation to be in anyway. But yeah, sorry, I just didn't like it. For that, for me, it was just a nail in the coffin for her. It was just it's like Felicity. Sorry, I liked her. She was fun at the start. Now she's turned into a neurotic bitch, essentially. Well, I just don't like seeing people get on like that over a situation that is already difficult as it is, and then making it more difficult by just jumping down someone's throat because he wants to process it. And because in the end, right, whenever something happens to you, regardless of how many people try to help you around
I
it,
think in a normal situation, yeah, somebody would be processing. I don't think he was processing it.
well,
That's just really not the case in this position. Like, if that was the case, then yeah, you'd probably be exactly right. But I don't think that's what the case was. He just wasn't going to tell her. He was
well,
just going to lie and continue to lie. He had no intention of telling her, and that was the problem. Like, he wasn't
well,
processing
if it
anything.
had, like I said, if that
He's
argument
the
had happened,
arrow. Like, he has to has like I think he has dealt with a whole lot of daggone things throughout the years. This is just another thing. He processed it. This is not anything new. I don't think it took him that long to figure it out. He saw the kid. He knew the daggone resemblance. He
no,
addressed the
I'm
girl.
not.
She lied to him about the fact that it was his kid. He wasn't daggone mad, but he was like, oh, such and such, such, and he accepted her terms under with no fight at all. And then when he had the opportunity to daggone be truthful with the daggone one person that has been making him a better person and has been working it out with him, he decided to daggone lie straight to her daggone face because in reality he had no intention of telling her anyway because, like I said, he didn't even put up no fight for his own daggone right.
Yeah, but you
So
see, at the end of the day, it's not at the minute. I don't think it's as easy to go. He's not put up no fight for his daggone rights. It's literally, I have a child, you get hit, and it's like you're like a rabbit in headlights. You know what I mean? It's a freaky situation to be in. You're a father, and you didn't know. You've been a father for 9 years. That is not something you process in an hour. It's not. I mean, I don't get me wrong. If it happened next week or happened whatever, I would fine, okay, I would be on Felicity's side, but just to basically it to happen like so quickly, like that was like literally, oh shit, he is my kid over there, boom, whatever, she's demanding all this shit, and he's like, right, hold on, can I just say hello to my son? And he just went and said hello, and then he's come through the gate, and it's like, oh, tell me what's going on, and then it's I
Well, first of
personally
all, you
I
also
whenever she.
imagine a scenario that didn't even happen because time reversed
Will it
stuff.
happen in an alternative universe? But yeah, you know what I mean. It's still it just got so miffy off. Like I mean, okay, in this situation that's happened now, more than likely he's not going to tell her, and then it's just going to get pissed off, which I fully agree with. But beforehand, no, I don't agree with the situation where she got pissed off at her. I just don't. It's just when something like that happens, that's like telling someone, tell me how you're feeling about your daddy, Dan. Tell me how you're feeling. You need to process stuff. When stuff happens, you need to process it inside before you can accept help from others. You need to start helping yourself first. It's just, yeah, that's just my opinion on the matter. But what did you think of Hawkman? I didn't like him.
I don't like them either.
I did. I really. What I didn't like. What I didn't like about him was the fact that he just kept creeping around her, because like literally, how many people do you know that could be in love with each other but the relationship doesn't work? And say
And you
that.
would think after 4,000 years, 206 lives, maybe you two being together is just not meant to be.
Yeah, it's just not meant to be.
Like the first time y'all were together, you got murdered, and then every other time after that, you got murdered. I think you might want to try something different, which interestingly enough is exactly what ends up happening with Hawkman and Hawkgirl. Is like they realize that being together just is not working.
Yeah, but I just didn't like the way, because, like, I mean, okay, I get that he's in love with her and them two have been in love with each other for years, but he wasn't giving her the space. It was just constantly, do you remember? Do you remember? Do you remember? And it was like, oh my God, even if you are in love with the person and that relationship, say I was going out with this person or married this person, but it was just like, even though I loved him to pieces, the relationship just didn't work, and so we broke up. And if he was hanging around me constantly, regardless of the fact that we mutually love each other, that's still fucking stalking. You know what I mean? And she at that moment did not love him, and he is fucking stalking her. It's constantly right by her side. I'm like, fucking leave her alone. Give her time to breathe. Yeah, I didn't like him.
Yeah, I also didn't like this whole thing of like, oh, you have to emerge and you can have your full abilities. Like, what full abilities? Flying? Like, what the fuck do you do? Like, I mean, I don't think it would even have mattered. Like, it was just the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah, it didn't really explain very well, because you didn't see in the past you didn't see them with wings. So, and can I say, right, this made me fucking near wet myself. We were watching it, and like the whole couple episodes was like, yeah, you're this awesome warrior priestess. I'm so sorry, but that's not what a warrior priestess does. You do not run over, stab someone in the back, and then run away whenever you've got them injured. You do not go, ah! I'm such a warrior. I need to run away after I've stabbed him. We've got the advantage now. I'll just like sit over here and let him stab my boyfriend. Ah!
Yeah,
Fuck.
Hawkman and Hawker are kind of like very weak heroes. I think they have always been. And this is my biggest issue with the Legends of Tomorrow is because like I'm like, okay, Captain Cold, Heat Wave, like, they're guys with guns. I don't, and they're freaking, you know,
Then we have Sarah.
you know, yeah,
She's
Sarah,
gonna be
like her
White
ass.
Canary.
Not only her should her ass be dead, but her ass shouldn't even exist as a character. It was just like really.
Yeah, but I didn't
Uh,
actually mind her in the aspect of I suppose the more recent Black Canary is supposed to be the daughter of the first Black Canary, so I didn't mind the fact that she wasn't the first Canary, if you know what I mean. But yeah, but still, I didn't like
What
that
I don't
actress.
like is they perpetuated this relationship between Oliver and Felicity and stuff like that. Everybody knows the love of Green Arrow's life is Black Canary. Like I don't.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
just
sure, when she gets, I love that. One of my favorite scenes in comics is when Black Canary and Harley Quinn are fighting, and then Black Canary's like, "Give me a second," and she needs to go vomit, and then Harley Quinn's like, "Oh, are you pregnant?" And she's like, "No." It's like, "Yeah, you are." She's like, "Shut up," and she's vomited again, and then she's like, "Wait, aren't we supposed to be fighting?" She's like, "Nah, I don't like getting pregnant women. It's fine." It's kind of, I just like that. I like Harley Quinn because she's so complicated. If you know what I mean. I love that scene. It's just like kind of, oh yeah, I'm still going to go out fighting, even though I'm fucking in my first trimester and clearly very sick. So I like it. It's kind of
that's
fun.
a whole another thing. Dark Black Canary is one of the most proficient hand-to-hand combatants in DC Universe.
Yeah, yeah, she is.
Being second to maybe Bronze Tiger, Black Panther. I mean, Bronze Tiger, Batman, Lady Shiva.
Yeah, she's supposed to be. She's
She's
supposed to be
like
the
one of
most
the
proficient.
top people.
But yeah,
And
okay. Sorry, did Still die completely? Yeah, he's gone. Sorry. Future, are you okay?
Yeah.
Sorry, I did. I only wanted to just find out his opinion, and I got really carried away, and then we got carried away. I'm sorry. That's my fault.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
like
But
it's the sign he was sleeping.
he was sleeping. He was sleeping. Oh, what else happened this week? I only recently saw the most recent trailer for Star Wars. So are they really going to? Because my my brother doesn't read, right? My brother doesn't know anything about the expanded universe. So every time I'm sitting at the table, my brother's ginger, so everything he says has to be right and you can't be wrong. And he keeps saying to me, "No, Luke turns out to be the main bad guy ever in the series, like after Star Wars
First of
movies."
all, they
It's like,
don't
no.
know what is going on because they already reiterated if you're hearing such and such from so and so who works on the movie, nah, that guy will not only be finding himself fired, but he will be finding himself in court.
Yeah,
So they
there was a
said don't
guy.
believe anything that you supposedly heard because apparently they are saying that nobody's going to know anything until the 18th.
Yeah, there was one guy who was allowed to watch it, but that's because he was dying and he was a big fan, and he watched it and then died. Died literally a day later.
Took the secret with him.
Take the secret. But nobody knows.
Let's
It's
contact him from beyond the grave. What happened? and,
yeah, but
uh,
like my brother's all like, oh yeah, but Luke becomes like Damien Pack. I'm like, no, he does turn to the dark side,
but
but
I
he comes
don't.
back.
I've become very apprehensive about this series. First of all, I mean, what they're doing here, because first J.J. Abrams went out of his way, sit there and write for daggone Star Trek,
Oh,
and
I knew you were gonna say Star Trek.
pretty much destroy the damn series with his bullshit.
To be
And
honest, I
then
actually like the new Star Trek series, just mainly because it
Star
gives
Trek
it
series.
like in terms of the films, because you can't do with the films what you do with a series. The way like you have your actions,
See, that's
you
the
have your
thing.
action episodes, then
It
you have your
is
internal
not an
episodes.
action. Star Trek was never an action thing. It was all based upon, criticizing and talking about social issues that were happening at the time,
Cold War
and
and stuff, yeah.
Cold War, and then even onward, it was about relating those things and stuff like that, and it was never about action. And he just turned it into another freaking action movie with no real plot, and that's
Mhm.
essentially what it is. And then they started doing this stupid thing where it's like, oh, not Star Trek this or Star Trek that. It's Star Trek using the name in the daggone title with whatever else that you're doing. Star Trek Into Darkness. That's fucking stupid. like like they do crap like that. And it just got progressively daggone worse. And I just did not like what they did with the first movie, destroying Vulcan. That was like, that
Oh
didn't
yeah,
make sense.
I hated that part. Yeah, but
I hated that. I'm like, what was that? Like, I don't even know why you would do that. And they just made it into a daggone action movie when it just never was. I was like, you're really missing the whole spirit and concept of what Gene Roddenberry was trying to create here. And then now he's making, finally making what he really cares about, which was always Star Wars, because he's an actual Star Wars fan, which I don't understand why he was even ever making Star Trek.
because they're
But
two
he's a
completely
Star,
different series.
yeah. So he's a Star Wars fan. He's making Star Wars, and that on top of that, Star Wars being probably very much corrupted. Of course, they're saying that George Lucas, is consultant on everything, but it's being very much corrupted by Dagon being owned by Disney. I'm sure,
Yeah,
and they decided to scrap like 40 years of backstory to Dagon sit here and make
they
this
shouldn't have done that.
whatever. And what pisses me off from what I'm seeing in the trailers is like, okay, you're telling me it's been over 40 years and they still haven't defeated the Empire? What type of shit is this? Like, I don't understand what's
Yeah,
going on.
why?
My friend was like, well, wait a minute, is that what it is? It's been 40 years. I said, how else do you explain how old Han Solo looks?
And
Like,
Carrie Fisher, General
and
Leia.
like, he's like, I said, and Luke, and he's like, well, I heard that he's supposed to be like just have a cameo in it at the end or something like that. I said, I don't know whether it's cameo or what. I said, and he's like, well, what about the thing about him being the falling to the dark side, a bad guy? I said that doesn't make any sense because he's the only Jedi left.
Yeah, he's the last Jedi.
If we're especially if we're going by specifically what's going on in the movies and stuff like that, and all the backstory of 40 years is no longer used, that essentially makes him the only Jedi in existence. So how does he turn daggone dark? Then I guess
Well,
there's
well,
any daggone Jedi
the
ever.
Black Stormtrooper in the trailer has a lightsaber at one point, so I don't know if he was just
Okay,
dressed up.
so that can continue be a continuation on of Dark Jedi. Nobody's saying you can't have
No, no,
that, but
he has a blue lightsaber.
yeah, but as far as like a Jedi or whatever and stuff like that, see the thing is Sith or the Order of the Sith, they don't use any other color but red,
Mhm.
plain and simple. So if you see somebody using a different color, then they're not in the dark side. That's just
Mhm.
how that usually works. I mean, at least especially from what we know from the series that is been created. So I mean, that is just what it is. But what I don't understand is, they're still sitting here fighting stormtroopers. I'm not really sure exactly what this story is about. And then, they have Mark Hamill playing as, obviously Luke Skywalker, but I don't know that that's a good idea to even have done this movie. Mark Hamill looks
Is
horrible.
oh, do you see him
He has
in Flash?
he has aged horribly. I
Mm.
saw him as a trickster. He's going to be on as a trickster next week. And oh, he looks so fucking horrible. I'm like, oh God, please, I hope not. And Carrie Fisher is old and she's overweight. She don't look like Princess Leia used to do with the little scampy little
With the
thing you
dildo,
get
I thought you said.
laid for that going freaking Jabba the Hutt. She don't look like that no more.
Well, of
People
course she
still
doesn't look
have that.
like that, but that
People
is her.
still have that viewpoint of her, and that
Well, people, well, I don't mind that so much because people age, Sal. That's what happens. They
Yeah,
age.
people age, but some people age badly. I was watching
So
Scream
what? So you just cast them
I was
aside
watching
and go,
Scream
no.
Queens, and Jamie Lee Curtis in the last episode of Scream Queens, Jamie Lee Curtis is getting to this cryo daggone thing so that she can, because they're using it cryo freezing as a beauty treatment, and they invite her out to go get it, and she goes get it. She gets out her robe, and she's got the one piece bathing suit on. Now, the thing about this is Jamie Lee Curtis is 57 years old.
Mhm.
This is not the 70s or the 80s when she was doing Halloween and prom night and stuff like that. This is 2015. She's 57 years old. Now, her body don't look like it did back when she did True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where
Mhm.
she was dancing in her
Oh
bra and
God, I
panties,
love that
stuff like
scene.
that.
She was so
She looked
awkward. She
good.
brilliant.
She had a body. She looked good and stuff like that. But that was 1994. It is 2015. Now she gets out of the robe and she's got the one piece bathing suit on. Her body don't look that bad. She looks good for her age and stuff like that. Yeah, I've seen worse on a woman who's probably younger than her. And stuff like that. So that's saying, but she aged a little bit better and stuff like that. Of course, she don't look like she used to that back then. That's going to be obvious. That's obvious. Nobody's going to look like that necessarily. I
Mhm.
said, but as far as, her looking like, you know, I don't expect her to look like that, but she looks good for her age. And that's okay. But some people, they just age horribly. They let themselves go. They don't take care of themselves. And
Well, it's well known that Carrie Fisher had a problem with drugs and depression and stuff. Yeah,
that
that
takes its
takes a
toll
toll.
on you.
Yeah, it does. Agreed. But yeah, I know that. I get that. But some people don't age. I am actually that actually doesn't bother me because like you always get like these ugly, horrible men in like
And the
in
depictions on the
films, and
back,
the women.
on
It's
the
always you always have to be skinny. Like it's always like look at Helen Mirren at her age, and all. It's like yeah, she
when
hasn't
they
had
do
kids. Well done.
depictions of the characters on Star Wars, freaking, the Star Wars books and stuff like that,
Yeah,
they look
Margie.
older. They look reasonably older and stuff like that because they are older. And those daggone storylines, it's been 40 years. They are older.
Well, except for Margie when she died at 55 and still
They
looked
have
25.
yeah. They have older. They have grown kids.
Yeah.
Gianna and Jason were grown
Mhm.
and stuff like that. Ben is getting there and stuff like that. What, he's in his 20s or something like that. Like,
Well, still,
and
that's grown. That's
Luke
it.
is old. Like,
I'd like to think I'm
that's
grown.
acceptable. But the thing is that what the depiction they have of Luke is Luke still looking like Luke except older, not looking like Mark Hamill now.
I get that. It's like, but do you not think that's a bit annoying though that you have to have this beauty standard rather than a character standard?
think it's
No?
annoying that you have to look that horrible and
You're so
and,
shallow.
and expect to get work as an actor.
You're so shallow. Oh my lord.
So let's be realistic. Okay, when Mickey Rourke back in the day, Mickey Rourke did what was it? What was
He
it
still
nine and
gets
a half?
work. He still
Nine
gets
and a
work.
half.
Did you see the
He
state of
still
him
gets
in
to work.
Expendables?
Wait,
He
wait.
looked
He
horrible.
did what? Did 9.5 weeks, and he did Wild Orchid and stuff like that. And then he got into some car accident and stuff like that. Back in the day, them women used to love him. They're like, "Ooh, Mickey Rourke, Wild Orchid. He was, all that sex and everything going on." And stuff like, oh, they love that and stuff like that. Oh, he's so sexy, he's so sensual. And he got in a car accident,
He's so
fucked up his face
sensual.
and stuff like that. And now he looked like,
He's so
now he looks
sensual.
like daggone 90 pounds of daggone freaking meat that daggone freaking professional boxers use to daggone warm up before they go into the ring
Yeah,
and
he,
shit
he
like
does. He
that.
does look like someone that's been punched several times.
And you're just like, he used to beat somebody, you know?
I know,
It's
but that's the thing. They don't mind casting people like him. He's not an
yeah,
attractive. Well, he's not. I
but
don't find
not
him
in
attractive.
not in the roles he used to be in.
No, I get that, but I mean, sure,
You're going to be
Leia's
the
not. Well, Leia's
monster.
not going to be sitting there. She would. Well, first of all, Leia. Well, okay, Carrie Fisher wanted to be in the slave suit. Okay, I get that because she wanted to look sexy, but Leia was put in that slave suit against her will. That's not a
Yes,
suit
the
that Leia
point
would
is
have wore.
that
And
fans for the past 40 years remember that and fantasize about that shit.
but it still happened. You know what I mean? I mean, just because you look at a picture of Raquel Welch doesn't mean you're going to go, "Oh
Now,
God, her
whoa, whoa,
bikini
whoa,
picture was
whoa, whoa,
horrible."
whoa. That is a horrible analogy because Raquel Welch still looked fine as shit.
Did she? Is she? She
Yes, have
did.
you seen the latest? Go Google the latest picture of daggone Raquel Welch. She still look good. Some
Oh,
people are questioning how is that even possible,
oh, is it
but
so?
she still
Did I?
looks good.
Okay, well, okay then. Sophia Loren, someone like that. She does not look good.
Sophia Loren doesn't look bad either.
Let me see. Well, who the hell am I talking about?
I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know.
Let me see.
Bridget Bardot, she looks horrible. She
But
used to
you,
be a sex symbol, and now she's an old person symbol.
latest. Let me see. 2050. We'll say 2050. But oh no, Sophie Loren's a horrible. Don't start me. But okay, she's not overweight, but big deal. Some people's bodies change as they grow
Bridget
up.
Bardot looks
You
like a
just
gargoyle.
yeah.
Freaking what's her name? Sylvia Cristal. She looks like an old ass woman. She looks like somebody grandma. I said, damn, you used to be Emmanuel. You used to be a sex symbol from back in the day, and now you look like somebody's grandmother.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But
She looks like Queen Beatrix. That's what Sylvia Cristal looks like now,
who's
which I
she?
guess is appropriate because I believe she's Danish. I mean, uh
Yeah.
she's Dutch anyway.
But I'm
But
just saying, but I mean, let's remember that a lot of these women are like, I mean, you're an actress and you get a lot of gigs and stuff, but you go for these jobs. You don't like, I mean, like say me, if I want paid, I have to get up for work. I have to go, and they're shifty, and I have to like get up for work, go out, go keep working. I get paid by the hour, whereas they get paid quite a lot of money for one movie or whatever, and they could take a break and they could go, oh yeah, let's go to the personal trainer, let's do this, let's do that. So I mean, I don't think it's
yeah,
that
so they don't
big
have
of
an
a deal for.
excuse.
Yeah, no,
You know,
they don't. Well, I'm not saying they don't have an excuse. If they're interested in doing something like that, they can keep
yes, but don't
themselves.
be
It's
surprised if you
easy.
don't get what you used to get or so forth and so on if you ain't taking care of yourself. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but I mean, but I don't mind the fact that because everyone remembers these old actors. I don't mind them being cast in the role, and I don't mind seeing Leia as an actual. Because okay, don't get me wrong, I love reading, the books of the twins. I love reading all those, but at the end of the day, I do not believe for a second that Leia and Luke would look like that whenever they're in their 50s. I do not believe for a second that. Because at the
I
end of the day,
mean, even Chewbacca's gonna be older, but Wookiees live to be 600, so it really doesn't matter because you can't even tell.
yeah, you
The
can't even
point,
tell what's his hair going to do, start falling out. It's probably going to be.
yeah, that is a little bit different. That's being a Wookiee for you. So that's not really my issue. My issue mainly with this story, and I don't really even care about the fact that they're older. It's fine that they're older. It's just that they look too daggone horrible to be their characters. But more importantly, my biggest issue is that I just do not understand what is the point of this story arc because it doesn't seem to make much sense to me. And I'm not going to be like,
Well, we don't know what the story is yet. We don't. Yeah.
exactly. And from what I'm seeing, I'm just not I'm just not there. I mean, I'm gonna still see it. I'm just not there. I just don't understand exactly where they're going with this.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, you're gonna do an entirely new story, and I have a feeling because what's the name wrote it, that it's just not. It's just I have a really distinct feeling it's just not gonna feel like Star Wars to me. I just
Yeah.
really have a feeling that he has just gone totally left field to try to daggone do something of his own creation
Mhm.
that it's just not going to daggone work, and I have a feeling that much like episode one, people are going to be like, "What the fuck?" Like,
Yeah, well, to be fair, like Lucas has a great imagination. However, after a while he implemented it horribly. After a
no,
while.
that's the thing. They have a whole. There's the thing about Star Wars. It has a whole lot of backstory to it. Whether you're talking about the Old Republic or what happens, 40 years after the fact and stuff like that. There's a whole lot of going on. And of course, with the books, Lucas didn't write those and stuff like that, but he allowed them and didn't say anything about them when people were writing. So everybody was just assuming, hey, that's what it is and
That's
stuff like
canon.
that. And then as soon as he sells it off to daggone Disney, all of a sudden, oh, we have a particular group now that determines exactly what's canon and what's not, and so forth and so on, and all this other shit that has happened in the past 40 years because Disney wants to make money off of shit that's not other people's ideas and give them money. They want they want to daggone start something entirely daggone new that you might just not agree with, but
Mhm.
it's all about daggone money, so who cares and stuff like that. The problem with what he did with the three most recent films was episode one was daggone fucking boring. And
I liked episode one. I actually liked it.
the whole Anakin thing is like this kid is so
Oh, I
annoying.
didn't like Anakin, but I loved Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. I thought their
And
scenes were awesome.
they and don't even get me started on Jar Jar Banks. but
Okay, right, Jar Jar Binks, fine. I didn't like Jar Jar Binks, but I did like the other people
but I
in his
did
race.
I did like I did like the I'm not even sure that I really like the daggone weird ass romance between Anakin that really.
That creeps me out because Anakin is so much younger than her. Like,
Yeah, she's
ugh.
like grown ass woman and he's like a freaking child.
I know
And not
everyone's
only
like, well,
that,
she's only
but
14, and
what
it's
is
like, but
there
she is there in a role of being basically the great mother to her nation, and obviously taking that role on with Anakin as
and,
well. And yet it's like,
and Anakin being played by Hayden Christensen, who is a questionable actor at best.
the romantic sand.
The is a questionable actor at best. It just really just had no emotional range for her to fall in love with. I just didn't see how that whole situation was supposed to make sense.
Yeah, no, I didn't understand that either. Like, it was fully
And then
like, I mean, see, when you see someone like, okay, yeah, fine, they kidnapped his mother, but when you are aware that you have just slaughtered an entire village, and you go, but I still love you, you're like, that's sort of sleeping with the
yeah,
enemy.
and then he's like, "Oh, I have to protect you from this possible future where I'm the one that daggone causes it."
Yeah,
like,
basically.
yeah, it was just like, but the only saving graces, of course, obviously for 2 and 3 was Yoda kicking ass.
I love Yoda kicking ass. I love it. And I did
And
like
even I remember
Samuel.
that day when I was in Maryland with my
Nobody
uncle.
expected it. It was awesome.
He comes in there and I'm like, oh, Yoda ain't gonna do nothing. And he takes up that little lightsaber and and I'm like, what?
I know it was. I really did like the actual attack part. Where they're in the Coliseum thing and the Jedi are getting fighting. I didn't like that they got their ass handed to them, but I liked the fighting and all that other stuff. It was quite cool to see like all the Jedi fight because like Jedi up until that point were basically it was always 1-on-1 or 2-on-1 battles. It was never fuck yeah. So it was kind of a cool situation, like an actual full-on Jedi skill battle and stuff. But yeah, um, but sorry, Shiffy kind of joined the call and then died. I think he's having a problem because it kept coming up saying recording inbound Shiffy. Like I now have, and I kid you not, a bunch of files for that. So I don't know what happened with Shiffy. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's about 20 files there. It's inbound from Chippy, so I think he had connection issues. But yeah, sorry, future. Sorry.
No
So what does
problem.
Future want to talk about?
Did you have an opinion on the Batman versus Superman, or
I actually haven't watched the trailer yet, to be honest.
Oh, you need to watch the
you need
trailer.
to watch the trailer? Yeah, it's quite cool. We
I
should probably.
actually happened to get what happened was 45 actually linked it to me because he asked me if I'd seen it last night and I said no and he linked it to me and I watched it and I just happened to daggone segue off of that and ended up watching all these trailers for all these possible sci-fi and horror movies that are coming out that I might want to watch though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep, that's
I'm actually
me.
looking forward to kind of incoming months for movies. Yeah. Yeah. I am definitely. Mhm.
Yeah, because they have a couple of coming out. I know that I put them on my list because as for action, I've got Assassin's Creed, which is supposed to be out on the 21st. Of course, I haven't heard anything about it, so I don't know if that's getting pushed back or if they're even going to acknowledge that they're making a movie, or is it going to come out on DVD or what? I don't know what they're doing with that. Then there's Batman vs Superman, Suicide Squad. They are remaking Big Trouble in Little China with The Rock, so that should be interesting.
Oh,
Because that,
sorry. Just to let you know, Assassin's Creed's out December 21st next year.
yeah, I know. I just saw
Oh.
that now. I just realized that I don't know what.
Oh, Michael
Uh,
Fassbender. Yeah. Cool.
Wonder Woman will be out June 23rd, 2017. They're making The Equalizer 2. I don't know what they're going to do with that because Denzel Washington has never done a sequel before, so I don't know if he's going to actually be in that one. But the original, the first Equalizer was really good.
Yeah.
Um, then there's Thor Ragnarok. I did not like the last Thor, or
I
rather,
did. You
I
don't
did
like
not like the
Marvel.
way I didn't like the way the last Thor ended. I thought that was kind of like, okay, what the fuck?
What with Loki? I love Loki.
Yeah, I didn't.
But that's the
And
thing. It's in the Marvel
I also didn't
universe.
like the fact that they killed like Free off because she was owning that
Awesome.
motherfucker,
Yeah, she was awesome during that fight.
and then after
I
that we
like
have
Rene Russo too.
the Justice League Part One, November 17th, 2017. The Flash movie in March of 2018, followed by Aquaman. Then that trailer for Gods of Egypt. I'm going to entirely forgive the fact
That it's
that
whitewashed.
virtually has no people who even resemble Egyptians,
Yeah,
and it's
I'm ignoring
entirely
that.
whitewashed because the
Everything gets
content.
whitewashed these days.
Yeah, because the content looks
I
awesome. So
know they have Hathor in it. They rarely have Hathor, and Hathor's my favorite goddess, and I love SG1, but I hated the fact they called her Hathor. It's Hathor. Don't care. Love her.
yeah, and then they're gonna have Shazam with The Rock playing Black Adam, which is awesome casting call because he looks exactly like Black Adam.
Yeah. Plus, it's just the Brock. There's if you want a big, muscly bad guy.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to see that until April of 2019. Then followed by Justice League Part 2. Um, and then they're going to do a Inhumans movie. I'm still questioning whether I want to see that, but I had the same kind of feeling about Guardians of the Galaxy, and when I finally watched it, I ended up loving it.
It's
So
amazing. Ha 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 ha. It's amazing.
especially the dag. I mean, it was a funny daggone movie, especially the daggone part at the end where freaking Groot was dancing, and he much called looked over and he's like all still or whatever, and he was like turned back and he started dancing again.
I love
That is
Baby
that
Groot.
that is honestly my favorite Marvel movie, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I love Baby Groot.
I was actually very surprised about how good that movie was. It really kind of blew my mind because I didn't think I was gonna like it. So.
I didn't think Bradley Cooper was
Because I
gonna
was
be
sitting there
good, and he
thinking,
was
like, what
good
is
too.
Marvel thinking? Nobody even knows who the Guardians of the Galaxy are.
It
I
was
mean,
it
they're
was
not
the
a really
surprise hit
big.
last year. Like it was the big breakout hit. Like it was like
I mean,
holy.
you'd have to be seriously into Marvel to
Mm.
have even read Guardians of the Galaxy. So it was kind of like thrown for me that they would put some out, but it actually worked. It actually worked. So I'm gonna give them that one. Um,
It's a good way if they want to expand, the universe bar, like away
well,
from Earth and
they're gonna
stuff,
end
like
up
the
having.
entirety.
They're gonna end up integrating Inhumans with that as well
Mhm.
because they're gonna end up interacting with them as well. Then we have the Green Lantern Corps movie. That's going to be in 2020. Hopefully, This time they're gonna do better than what they did with the Green Lantern because that was a cartoon.
Ugh.
And then
like
there,
it could have been so good. Like Ryan Reynolds was not an awful casting because Hal is like that. Hal does
he
make jokes or
wasn't,
whatever.
but
It was
Hal is not so much of a jokester. He's more serious than that.
well when as a part of the Justice League, he's more the jokester in the group and stuff. He's hilarious. He just I
It's
love him.
not. Well, the Flash is more like a jokester, but
Well, him and Flash in
this
Green
is like
Arrow
I
are the kind.
liked about Flash this week where he was like, "Did you rehearse that in a mirror or?" That was kind of funny. And then of course we have John Wick 2, which should be good because the original John Wick that shit was fucking ridiculous. That's probably like the best movie Keanu Reeves has been in since like The Matrix. So, and then we got Thrillers, Where the Bad Kids Go, which is a sequel to another movie that
You know,
I'm
I'm
trying.
thinking I'm going to
Bad
break
Kids
this
Go
into its
to Hell.
own podcast because it's got a bit long report. Bleach Wiki does movies. Carry on.
Then for horror, of course, because I'm a huge horror fan, we have a plethora of stuff. We have Night of the Living Dead, Darkest Dawn. Now, I'm assuming that, okay, that's supposed to be out in October, so I have to check on that one. I don't know whether that was supposed to be the animated one and stuff like that, because I know they've changed its name a couple of times.
On the
And,
topic of animation, I have a friend at work who basically he's like really kind of budge meal, but he does like he used to love comics and stuff, but he's budge man not there. Oh, like yeah, DC haven't got anything out of it. We're like, look, if you're looking good stuff to watch for DC, go watch Flashpoint. Flashpoint Paradox was amazing. Watch Under the Red Hood, and then watch Son of Batman, then watch Batman
well,
versus
they're on
Robin.
this
Oh,
tear of
amazing.
not doing something unless they do something right. So
Yeah,
they're not about they've made their mistakes and now they're just like, okay, we can't keep doing that.
I
Um,
loved Son of Batman. Son of Batman. I
I
think Damien Means
still
awesome.
I still have to go to the movies and watch Victor Frankenstein because I wanted to see that.
Yeah, I have to see that too.
Um,
Yeah.
um, me and my friend plan to go see Krampus. That looks cool. There's a movie called Shut In that's supposed to come out next year in February. Amityville: The Awakening. Cell, which is a movie being directed by Eli Roth, but it's based on a Stephen King book about cell phone signals turning everybody who was using them at the time into freaking raving lunatics or something like that, and then people have to survive. All I know is John Cusack is in it, and he's awesome. So I'm gonna watch that. The Kitchen Sink. I forget exactly what that's about. Rings. Okay, so they're making another Ring movie. It's called Rings, and they're like Samara's at it
Clever
again.
game.
I said, wait a minute. I said, exactly how is this supposed to work? Because who the hell still uses a VHS? How's she going to kill
They're
any
probably
daggone
gonna make it like a DVD now or
yeah,
Blu-ray
I
or
said
something.
unless she daggone makes it a freaking
Flash drive.
viral video that she sends to people's emails, there is no way in hell she's going to be able to do any damn thing. I this is just I don't know what they're going to do with this, but that's that. They got some movie called 31. I don't remember what that's about. They're remaking Cabin Fever. I'm not entirely sure why. If it's
Because
like anything like
it's
any of the
Hollywood
other
and they
ones,
do a
it's
lot of
going
shit.
to be on a whole other fucking level. um,
They're doing Alice Through the Looking Glass.
oh, they are. I have to.
That's they're doing it's
Yeah,
basically
I've
that.
I've heard of it. I have to look into that one. Um,
Is it a prequel or is it a sequel?
they're also making. Oh yeah. No. I'm thinking of something else. Yeah, it's a sequel. It's a sequel of Alice in Wonderland. I like that movie, so that should be
Did you?
interesting. Yeah.
Really?
Right.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm shocked.
Johnny Depp. What do you want?
What more do you want but just him on your screen? Sorry, he's becoming a bit of a party, but okay, yeah, fine.
You know what? He sticks to what he's good at.
Silliness.
And the thing about Johnny Depp you have to remember is that he likes that weird, crazy stuff. And he's good at playing it, you know. So I mean, stick to what you know, right?
Yeah.
Then
There's
of
this
course
one oh
the Resident Evil final chapter.
finally, please be the final
For
chapter. I wish they would revamp that series.
for whatever reason, that shit is not coming out until 2017. So I don't know what taking them so long for that. Jeepers Creepers 3. Now that shit was supposed to be out like 3 years ago. I don't know what's taking the daggone director so long. It's supposed to be 2017 now. I don't know what's taking so long and stuff like that because I've been waiting for the Creeper to come back for a minute now. Hack
There's a
and
Beauty and the
Slash,
Beast film coming out in
Hack and
2017.
Slash, Scouts Guide to Zombie Apocalypse. I already watched that. That was pretty good. They're making they're making it into a two-part movie. That should be interesting.
Please
Um,
don't turn it into a big oh, no spider again.
oh yes, the death.
Hiya, Georgie. The death
Come
lies.
down here. Everything floats down here. I just saw last night this trailer for this movie called Windwalkers. It seems to be like, Native American horror type situation. And
That looks beautiful.
of course, I just had to see it because I put it down here and Pride and Prejudice versus in zombies. Yeah, yes, yes. Turn Jane Austen into something that everybody would love. Pride and Prejudice and zombies.
And
If you
zombies.
haven't seen the trailer for that, you need to go see the trailer for that because that is just ridiculously amazing.
I'm
And you're gonna
actually
love. And if you haven't seen the trailer for it, you're gonna love it, son, because it's empowering women to fight zombies
mm,
during the Victorian era.
in the Victorian era whenever it was like, oh my god, I cannot possibly look up your
Let's
skirt.
see. Hunger Games, Mockingjay,
Oh
saw
god,
that.
they've got Cars 3 coming out.
Yeah.
Cars 3. Are they serious?
Well, better than all that, better than them Planes movies that sucked ass.
Well, the planes wouldn't have existed if cars didn't exist.
But everybody loves cars.
Spinning.
Hunger
They have a co-
Games already saw that. That was good.
they have a
Final.
Code Geass movie coming out. A Code
Did you
Geass.
did you see Hunger Games yet?
I haven't watched on a great. I couldn't get my head around.
I watched it. The second one. I thought the Mockingjay movies were good, just not as good as the first two.
Well,
Mm.
it's like a segue into the ending because of course you're not seeing them in the Hunger Games. It's pretty much they're in a war right at that point. So
Yeah, I just
And
no.
the one thing, it's the love triangle. Like that got annoying
yeah,
really quick.
that fizzled out real quick because it was kind of like
Did
oh,
they
she
not
gotta
have
make.
any chemistry?
Well, no, it was more
They
about the
dragged
fact
it out
that
too long, I
dragged it
feel.
out too long. She didn't make any type of decision, and then when it
Well, in the
became
book, she didn't
more,
make any decision until she realized that Gale was probably responsible for. Well, because Gale
well,
moved away after
they didn't
thing
make it
Primrose
seem like
died.
Gail was responsible for anything. They made it seem as Gail knew
Created
something
it.
was up. Gail knew something was up and didn't say anything.
Well,
And then
he created the
that
bomb that killed her
precipitated the situation no, well,
in the
he
books.
had no, in the movie he had created a number of different plans for them to use to attack, and she asked him, did you do this, did you know about this, and he says he didn't know. So he doesn't know that Coin did what she did or whatever. He wasn't
Hmm.
responsible for it, but he may have had an active role in it as in creating the plan, but he didn't, but it was only part of the plan. His plan was never to daggone kill children. That wasn't
Yeah,
part of
no,
his
no,
plan.
I get that, but he
She
in the books.
misappropriated his plan to do something, whatever, and she asked him. So that kind of put the nail in the coffin. But up until that point,
Yeah,
it was like
well, it was like,
unresolved. Like,
but it was
and he was
unresolved in the
afraid.
books until basically she is sitting there depressed about her sister, and Gale has moved away because he feels too guilty about it.
Oh, no. They handled that way before all that happened. So they handled it like a little bit right after it happened, and it kind of just fizzled out after that.
Oh
And
well,
then
there wasn't much
he
really
was
happening
hearing
after the
about
war ended.
Gail and what he was doing from what's her name that was married to Finnick. She got a letter from her telling her what was going on with everybody else and stuff like that. So that's how that happened. But yeah, after she had Prim had died or whatever, and she was sitting in the room like a little bit after it had happened, and they had gained control of everything. He came in there, and that's when she talked to him about that, and that was pretty much the nail in the coffin right
Yeah,
there
well, that was it,
because
but it was like
he
that in the
didn't
books,
know
though.
what had happened or what he had actually been involved in as far as that, and that's when she was just like, yeah, well,
Yeah,
it's
because
over.
well, in the books, he created the type of bomb that was
Yeah.
used to kill her,
Well,
and
yeah,
she.
they didn't go into the bomb in the books and stuff like that. It was just a plan that was used. But what they did in the movie was they actually had him more or less recognizing that PETA had won way before that whole situation even went down because, you know, it was kind of just obvious, even though Peter was like kind of out of it at the time.
Yeah.
So they also have, can't wait for it because I already saw the second one, but 2017 Maze Runner: The Death Cure. And if you haven't seen the trailer, son, The Huntsman: Winter War, you have to see it.
I know I heard that one. They
Oh
didn't want to make a
my
Snow
God!
White movie. They
Now
didn't
I'm
want to
going
make a
to
Snow
watch
White
it.
movie.
I didn't watch the other one because that horrible ass Kristen Stewart and her
Oh
non-ability to
God,
act in it was
Jesus.
in.
Do you know
And
actually in every movie she's in they could stick a cardboard cutout of her and it would just still be the same movie. She
I
is.
told you she shouldn't be no actress. She should be like a Walmart greeter or something.
Do you know, I'm actually
Like,
shocked. She's been doing independent things and she's actually getting good reviews in those. It's like, what? Wait, what?
yeah, well, nobody's seeing those, so that's why she's getting good reviews. Um, but yeah, but The Huntsman is going to have Emily Blunt in it. It's going to have fine ass Charlize Theron in it.
Mhm.
Yeah, oh, I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna love it
Oh
because
yeah.
it looks so cool, and I'm like, oh, I love this type of shit.
Do you like How
So
to Train Your Dragon series?
I didn't see the second one yet, so I don't know.
Watch it, watch it, watch it.
I
The third one
I
is coming out in
I watched the
2018.
writers. I watched the Riders of Burke, but I haven't seen the actual second movie. So
Yeah, no, watch it. It's good. I liked it. It was enjoyable.
we're gonna do a Now You See Me Part Two. So I'm going to be enjoy watching that. There's a trailer out for that. So if you haven't seen that, the Fifth Wave that looks interesting. So I'm gonna be watching that. That comes out in January.
Frozen
Pacific.
2. Sorry, go
Oh God.
ahead. It'll
Oh,
not be as big as the first one. You know it'll not be.
I hope not. Um, Pacific Rim Maelstrom, that should be interesting. I want to see what they go with there because the first movie was awesome, and I thought that
Oh,
they had
yeah.
won, but apparently,
Not.
apparently not. Do they ever? Godzilla 2. This is
Mhm.
interesting
I
because
wonder what they're going to do with that.
I
Like
found out,
I heard they were interested. I heard they were interested in like doing a crossover with that, like
I
Pacific
heard
Rim and
that,
Godzilla. Like I
yeah,
heard
but
something about that.
I don't think they link up too well for that to actually work because they're all based. I mean, they're based on the same concept. But the thing is, they're doing Godzilla 2, and I heard that the people that are making it already signed daggone rights for Mothra and Gohedra and all them others. So
Ooh.
this should be interesting.
I
This should
like
be interesting.
Mothra. Mothra was always like, she was always more defensive, wasn't it? Mothra's the girl, isn't it?
No, she's the moth. You know
That's,
the moth.
I know, but she's the
Well, she
female
was
monster.
at
She's one of
first
the
she
only
was like a
female monsters.
monster, your regular monster, and then I think the other movies that they did, Mothra was kind of like a
Defensive.
protective guardian
Yeah,
kind
she's a guardian
of
kind of thing. Yeah, that's what I mean.
guard,
That's.
guardian and stuff like that. So we'll see what they do with that. They're making a Hellboy 3.
But Mothra is like the female. She's female of them all, isn't
Yeah,
she?
I
Yeah.
think so. They're making a Hellboy 3.
Oh, okay.
They're making a movie called Midnight Special. I'm not entirely sure. I just saw the trailer last night. I'm not entirely sure what it's about, but it's kind of
Oh,
clear that it's about a little kid and he's wearing these goggles this entire time, but he seems like a regular little kid. But apparently he takes the goggles off, his eyes are like literally glowing
mhm.
and all this crazy stuff is happening. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Apparently, they're making to be released in February. I'm quite actually shocked about this. They're making Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon 2. Wow.
Is that possible? I thought the whole thing was supposed to be to get the sword. So
I don't know. It's called. There's two names that apparent. It's like the Green Legend or the Sword of Destiny, an upcoming
well,
American Chinese
in any
martial arts film.
case, we have another movie called After Death. I believe that's a British movie, son. Um,
Uh,
these
mm,
people wake up in this house and they don't look like they originally looked or something like that. I mean, you have to watch the trailer for it. I was kind of confused by it, but it looked interesting enough for me to try to watch it. And then another movie that I saw a trailer for last night, Monsters Dark Continent. These giant ass monsters that look like they're an African freaking army. It's kind of like an army sci-fi kind of thing, whatever. They're fighting these giant freaking creatures or whatever. It's kind of crazy. And of course, Quentin Tarantino's latest work, The Hateful Eight, that comes out in January. We're going to be watching
Oh
that.
god, it's gonna be so awesome.
Yes, it is.
I'm
Yes.
sorry,
I
I
heard that he
can't
had
get
like
into him.
What did you say?
what?
I'm sorry, I just can't get into Quentin Tarantino. I liked him in From Dusk Till Dawn.
You didn't you see Kill Bill?
Yeah.
That is, I would think you would love Kill Bill. It's awesome in
I
female
don't
empowerment. She
know.
killed everyone.
I don't know. It's just I don't know. I don't
Oh.
know. Saying that, to be honest, I will admit I'm kind of freakish when it comes to blood, so possibly that has a lot to do with it. He's a very bloody kind of director. You have to admit he is.
Yeah, but whatever.
I don't know.
So,
Like, I mean,
and
I think,
then
well, he is a bit of a mental fuck too. You have to
in
admit that.
future, if you have not seen the trailer for Dirty Grandpa, you need to see that shit. It's gonna
Oh,
definitely be Zac Efron and Robert De Niro. Oh, I'm watching that movie. Watching that.
oh, Jesus.
And then I saw this trailer last night called American Heroes. Got Steven Dorff in it.
Oh, I like
He's
Stephen Dorff. He was on in
of
Blade, wasn't he?
course. Yes, I've been watching Steven Dorff since he was a kid in The Gate when he opened the gateway to hell in his backyard.
Or I thought he was lovely in Blade. He's one of them bad
Um,
guys that you could go
in this
like, I
one,
can see
he's
why you
pretty
have all
much
the girls.
in this one he's pretty much a super slacker loser, got nothing going on in his life, and then somehow he develops the ability to move things with his mind, so he decides to become a hero
Yeah,
and
to
take
me,
on gangs and stuff like that. There's a trailer for it. You might want to check
he
it
was the
out if
only
you.
good thing for me in that film, Immortals. I loved him. I was like, oh my god, I haven't seen a big blockbuster in ages.
Oh, that's right. He was in Immortals.
Then he died, and then I got pissed off, and I
I
was
was
like,
kind of apprehensive about Immortals. I loved the visualization.
oh yeah, the
I
visuals were
I
lovely.
hate I hated the way
The
that
story
they
was shite.
portrayed the gods and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And I hated whatever the zombies or whatever that was supposed to be the Titans. I didn't like that any of that at all. I thought
Yeah,
that
like,
was just very horribly gross misrepresentation
yeah.
of of Greek mythology. It's kind of like the way I feel
The
about
Titans are all individual, like the
the
gods, they all have individual
yeah,
powers, and yet somehow it's like, oh no, we're
they're
all just these
just
zombies
all
ripping apart the gods.
cookie cutter daggone guys and stuff like that. And then another thing I did not like, and similar to that, when they did those movies, um, what were they called?
Clash of
What
the Titans,
Clash of the Titans and
Wrath of
Wrath
the
of the
Titans.
Titans. I thought it was going to be like the original one, and instead they did this thing that they have been constantly doing, where it's just like, let's kill off all the gods as if that made sense. I mean, I just really just didn't get that. I'm like, they're gods for a reason. You're not supposed to just kill them off and oh, we don't need the gods. We don't need to worship the gods.
Yeah,
Like
if you don't
I
love the
hate,
gods, they
I
hate you.
hated with, I hated Xena and freaking Hercules when they started doing that, and they
Mm-hmm.
started going into other pantheons and stuff like that. I said, why are you doing this?
Mm-mm.
You're
Mm-hmm.
killing gods. You're going into other pantheons. You're killing those gods, and then oh yeah, Gabrielle's giving birth to Eve, and
Yeah.
it's just ridiculous. I didn't like any of that.
Oh my god, there's a film coming out called The Killing of Tony Blair. Let me see. What's it about? Oh,
In
oh, it's a
the
documentary
media,
film. Oh, it's a
so
documentary directed by George Galloway. I thought it was going to be like, kind of,
that's what
Abraham Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Killer or whatever.
Thought it was gonna be like this interview style. This
No,
movie
no,
that's
no. It's going to be about him
so
and his war in Iraq. That's George Galloway. Yeah, it's nothing. Go ahead. Next.
yeah, no, I figured that's what it was. The death of Tony, the death of Tony Blair in the media.
Hmm. I like Tony. I still like Tony. Okay, yeah, sure.
Tony
He
Blair
made
is going to
questionable
go down
decisions.
in history as the daggone freaking little errand boy of George Bush. That's what he's going to go
Well,
down in history.
it goes
They're
down over
gonna-
here as
They
the guy who
and
ended the troubles. He basically, people had faith in him, so they stopped. Most of them.
yeah, well, the fact of the matter is that you know, he's probably going to be looked at as very ineffectual as a strong thing because he
As a
didn't
world
stand.
leader, yeah.
Yeah, he didn't stand up for what the UK wanted to do. He was just following behind what America was trying to do.
Sure, it's even now, it's like all the MPs are basically just going, yeah, because we're going to just bomb the terrorists or whatever. And it's like,
Yeah.
everyone here, I have not seen anyone, unless they're a bigoted cunt and they're few and far between, say that they want Syria to be bombed. And it's just like, what?
Well, you're in a catch-22 type situation because they don't. Here's the problem, son. They don't really. Nobody really knows what to do with Syria. Assad is not a daggone good person. They don't want him, but then he's a guy in daggone charge, and it's either him or ISIS or Al Qaeda or whatever. So they're kind of like
Mm-hmm.
they're caught in this situation where they have to daggone play, you know, what's the best interest for them, and that's just to bomb the hell out of the whole situation.
But
Like,
it's gonna then people are gonna die, and people who wouldn't have been radicalized will become radicalized, and then it'll cause more. Oh, here,
here's the
Leatherface is coming
idea.
out.
Here's the idea. Leave that freaking area altogether. If everybody and your mom would just stop paying attention to what's going on in Syria and the Middle East and stuff like that, and let them people just kill each other like they want to, then then you don't have to worry about terrorism and stuff like that because they're too busy killing each other.
But no, but see, the thing is now is because westernization has been introduced over there, so people over there are wanting, they're wanting education for women, they're wanting more rights, so they're like, oh, well, now we need to go fucking well shoot the terrorists, shoot the people who did this to us and stuff. That's basically what they're trying to do. They're trying to basically, kind
Yeah.
of, my dick is bigger than your dick, Western world kind of thing.
Well, man, that's what they do. They go up in Parliament, they decide those things, they make this determination, and it's just like, okay,
Oh, here, your man Stephen Dorff in Leatherface. Did you say that?
no, he's in this movie called American Hero.
Leatherface 2016. Pretty
Oh,
sure
they
it's.
don't really need to make another movie. They made four. So, no,
Yeah,
no,
well, Stephen
they made
Dorff's in it,
three so
so
far.
well, your
They,
Stephen Dorff loves is in it, okay? So you're
yeah,
probably
but
gonna watch it because you love him.
I mean, I have the most recent daggone freaking Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I have yet to watch it yet. So,
But Stephen Dorff's in it, in this
yeah,
one.
well, you know,
No, okay, sorry. Since you
stuff
loved
in
horror movies,
general.
I thought you would watch wanted to be that one.
Steven Dorff has been in horror movie. He's not the big horror movie guy. I mean, I've seen a lot of his work, if not most of it.
Mhm. Okay,
But
alright, okay. What's next on your list of films? Because
I
you
think
made a list for
that
this chat.
I think that's it as far as the films. I mean, everything else is pretty much on my either DVD wish list or stuff that's been released.
Can I say
Uh,
I'm really excited for the upcoming direct to video because like I said, I love Son of Batman, Batman vs Robin. There's Bad Blood coming out, and Batwoman's gonna be in it. Fucking right. Yeah. Sorry.
the only other thing I have game wish list. I've got the
Oh, I guess we could do that next week. No.
it's not even that long. I still have to pick up the Sword Art Online Last Lost Song. Um, Lichdom Battle Mage, Mafia 3, Final Fantasy 7 when it comes out, Final Fantasy 15 when it comes out, and of
I,
course, Mass Effect Andromeda.
yeah, I have to say I'm absolutely loving this game. I got it last week. Um, now it's fucking annoying in terms of it's basically like the game is so large and stuff. It runs really. It takes ages to load up, but I absolutely love it. I love the aspect of it that it's called Ark Survival Instinct, and you wash up on an island naked. Well, not naked. You've like coverings over your nipples and stuff, and bits down there. And basically, and it's a well, it's not even, I wouldn't even say it's a dinosaur island, it's a prehistoric animal island, and it is class. And you can tame animals and stuff, and my mate is playing with me, and I keep taming like tons of dodos and calling them Bobby the First, Bobby the Second, Bobby the Third. And he's like, why do we have an army of dodos? And it's basically our camp is just gobble, gobble,
The
gobble.
the mo the least effective daggone animal for defense, a dodo.
No, literally, do you know why I'm actually catching them? Because
I would. How? What are you gonna do with a dodo? There's a reason why they're extinct. Like,
yeah, do you know what it is? Because like in it, all you do is like you either eat berries or you eat meat. But the dodos lay eggs, and I'm like, yeah, if this is me, would be what I would choose. I would choose fucking fried eggs over berries and meat any day. Like, yeah, but I just think it's so funny because like the guy Bobbies are called Bobby with Y's and Bobby IEs and stuff. And actually, do you know what I'm actually using them for as well? Because they're really quick to tame. You take about 2-3 minutes to tame them. Plus, see if you want to grow anything, you need good fertilizer. And dodos shit a lot. For the size of them, they shit a hell of a lot. So you have to go make the fertilizer with the poop. and stuff. So I actually I like the game. It's kind of cool because it has all that aspect in it. You have to gather everything. You have to make your own clothes. You have to grab the shit, everything. Like it's really nothing goes to waste in the game. You know, I like it. It's kind of cool. It's really survival. Although I don't like when people go too high of a level and start like having like friggin' skeleton T-Rexes and stuff. It's just stupid. But yeah, sorry. That's a game I enjoy. It's not even full released yet, so can't wait for the full release. But it's early release at the moment, early access. But yeah, sorry. I like that. Would you not like to tame a T-Rex? Hello?
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't. Sorry. Okay, fine. Maybe I'm fine. The only one cool. Like it kind of like I've always wanted a game where it's kind of like you're in Pokemon, and I would like that sort of game where you have to like survive, and because basically you're walking from town to town, you have to survive, you know. And yeah, I've always wanted a Pokemon game like that, but I guess I can't get a Pokemon game like that. It fucking works. So yeah, I like it. I'm taming monsters that just are big and not Pokemon. And I've started back on playing Pokemon again too because I need to clear. I literally in January bought me and my mate like I bought him Omega Ruby and I bought Alpha Sapphire for myself just so I wanted to play it. And neither of us cleared the game so far, and I literally spent about 60 quid on those two games just because I wanted to play a new Pokemon game. But I really don't like May. I hate her hair. Being May is annoying. But yeah, sorry. Okay, so are we done now or?
Yeah, I guess.
I guess. Okay, Future, if you got anything to say? Any movies you're looking forward to? You done?
Nothing that hasn't been talked about already.
Nothing that hasn't been talked about. Apparently a new Digimon movie's coming out. Seriously,
I've heard about that.
they really like some franchises they cling to like a dying horse. But yeah, okay, right. Well, I guess I'll maybe divide this up. Maybe make a separate one for movies and stuff. But yeah, if you enjoyed that episode, subscribe or whatever, and bye bye, guys. You no bye byes. Okay, fantastic, fantastic. Trying to get these guys to talk. Ciao ciao ciao.